Bienvenidos a Taboo Talk Latina Edition. Yo soy Cynthia.
And I'm Jeanette.
And today we have a very special episode because hoy estamos celebrando Galentine's Day Latina style.
Galentine's Day is all about celebrating amigas y la comunidad that lifts us up. And let's be real, as Latinas, friendship isn't just important, it's a lifeline. We support each other, we hype each other up, and we show up for each other en las buenas y en las malas.
And today we are doing exactly that. Let's introduce our incredible guests who are joining us for this special Galentine's Day episode. These mujeres are powerful, inspiring, and each bring a unique perspective on friendship, self-love, and community.
Les presento a nuestras invitadas. First up, Alejandra Arivi Ventura. Among many titles, she is the CEO of the Arivi Experiencing and host of Growing Up Latina, celebrating Latina culture through media and storytelling.
Jennifer Maria Lee is a content creator and an accountant who's a proud Dominican wife and mom of 3. She brings humor and joy to her audience while celebrating her roots and family values.
Up next, Jenny Contreras is a bilingual content creator, entrepreneur, and proud Afro-Latina with a background in psychology and social work. She uses her platform to celebrate culture, diversity, and self-expression while inspiring others to embrace their authentic truth.
Adriana Hernandez is a project manager in the defense industry and a dedicated advocate for diversity in tech. As an immigrant and business owner, she mentors and empowers underrepresented community while driving innovation and leadership. And lastly, Heather Reese. She's a Latina creator, model, and activist advocating for body positivity, diversity, and social justice. As a plus-size model and fashion influencer and personal injury lawyer, she empowers others through both legal and creative spaces.
Welcome, ladies. Bienvenidas.
Hola.
Before we dive in, let's warm up with a little icebreaker. Describe your personality in one word. I'll go first. Guerrera. How about you, Cynthia?
Auténtica. How about you, Jennifer?
How about you, Jenny? Persistente. Thinking, nunca nos rendimos.
How about you, lady Sandrina?
So I'll stay with sassy through and through.
Fire, Heather. You're me.
Bold. I would say bold. Every way bold as I can.
Ali V?
Bosita. I feel like I'm in my boss era right now.
Yeah.
Yes, I love it. Okay, ladies, let's talk about amistad. Because in nuestra cultura, friendship are just as deep as family bonds. But we don't always grow up with that message or that mindset, right?
Ladies, growing up, how did your family define amistad? Was it something they value? Was it all about family first? So, for example, my family was about family first, right? Like if I had to go to a friend's house, I would always have to consider if we had anything family related or any parties or any gatherings. If there was anything important, family matters before I make the decision of going to a party. So how was it for you, ladies?
Yeah. Like for me, I come from a huge family, so my friends were my cousins. And it's like, oh, Steve, ve a jugar con tu prima, go play with your cousins. And it was just that type of thing. I did have other friends outside of there. And I basically brought those friends into my family and made my family even bigger. So it was like even to the point, my childhood best friend at the time, she had a baby with one of my cousins. So there you go.
Oh.
Make the family.
Oh, wow. Yes.
So it's all about family. Always, always.
How about you,
That's
ladies?
awesome.
I think it was the same for me. Like my cousin is my best friend and I come from a big family. Like just the idea of friendship it started from the home first and it started with the family. So even if we got into arguments, it was like, let's fix the core. And then maybe you can expand and, everybody else is kind of associates, but friends and family, it was all one and one for us.
I think for me, in the same way, it was always, oh, sorry, you go. No, go ahead, Heather. I would say for me, I'm kind of a little bit of the opposite. Friends was always a big proponent of like my upbringing, my mom's friends, like we didn't have a lot of extended family. Family wasn't a really big thing. I was raised in like a Jewish home and it was like very small. So our friends were like the number one thing. Like my mom always told me like your loyalty to your friends are super important. It wasn't until I became an adult where I realized that like family is the crux of what's important for for, just life in general. Like I would do anything for my sister, and just realizing that like impact of how much sisterhood means, like definitely changed as I became an adult. More.
Yeah.
Marina?
I'm definitely the same way. I know that even now that I'm older, if I'm like, oh, I have something to do with my friends, it's like, hold on, I have to think twice.
Yeah.
Because I might have something to do with my family first. So it's the same thing.
Awesome. Now let's flip it a little. What's the most memorable thing one of your amigas has ever done for you that left a left a lasting impact on you ladies?
I think it was when like my uncle passed away, and I didn't expect it because I'm used to, again, family as being friends, but it was actually one of my best friends. When my uncle passed away, she bought like flowers and a card and a candle. And I know it sounds like cliche, like maybe she should have done that, but I didn't expect that because I didn't always have that. I had that from my family, but not from my friends. So when she did it, it was like, are you okay? Is there like, why are you being so nice to me? She's like, girl, this is what a healthy friendship looks like. And it was very comforting for me. And I did not expect it.
And those are the ones that tend to be the powerful ones when you least expect them. And I know, Jenny, you were going to share something as well.
Yeah, so very similar. I had a friend. So because I had miscarriages, I wasn't really public about my pregnancy that was successful. So a friend, I actually pulled a Kylie. So I'm FaceTiming everyone like, hey, so I want you to meet someone. And I thought everyone was going to be upset. And then this wonderful friend, she found out the room number I was in and just got me this huge delivery. And it just left such a huge imprint in my heart because with so many things changing, you think like everyone's going to be upset that I hid a whole baby from them. But instead, like it was met with so much love. And I love that girl so much because we love friends that they just pour onto you.
Yeah, that was so sweet.
Yeah, that's so sweet. And that they understand you, right? Because you wanted to keep it private for a reason. She didn't get upset. She understood and she, was supportive. So that's amazing.
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
go ahead, Heather. You got it.
I think when I through a divorce, I thought, I didn't know where my friends would stand on it. Like, he had been a part of my life for so long. And I think my one friend coming to me, and I remember being hysterical, and I was like, what am I going to do? This person has been my oxygen. And she was like, I'm going to buy you an inhaler. Like, and I'm going to get you an inhaler, and we're going to have and you're going to be fine, and you're going to get through it. And I would say that to me was like the ultimate show of friendship for me, because it was like her saying to me, like, I'm going to help you get this air. We're going to help you get to it. We're going to help you get through it. So I would say that was like an incredibly powerful moment for me, me and my friends.
Wow, that was beautiful too.
I love that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Friends, take notes.
I know, right? So I have this one friend that I've been friends with her since like probably junior high. And so it's been like 20 something years, and she shows up for me every time. And that's what it is. When those friends show up for you for any little thing, like I don't speak to her every day, but guess what? She'll randomly FaceTime me and we'll spend hours on the phone and just talk. Like I just went to the DC area, and she lives like an hour away. And she came to like meet because she didn't get to meet my second and third son, and she came to meet them, and she was like, and they loved her. And I'm like, of course they will love you because you're like a part of me in a sense, right? We've been friends for such a long time that it's like you've seen me from this little teenage girl to now an adult in a sense with a whole husband and kid.
And that's when you can have that friendship that you don't do every day or like at all.
Yeah.
Bye. And then boom, you guys click like if nothing happened. And I have that one friend. Again, we don't talk, but every time that she texts me or I text her, like we're there for each other and star wherever we left off, like no hard feelings.
Yeah.
That's something we can't take for granted.
And throughout time, because when you've been friends for such a long time, you're going to have tizzies in between, right? So there was times that she was like upset at me about something, and we spoke about it because I'm like, we're grown. We can't sit here and be upset about what? No, we can't be upset about that. So I love that we even got through that, like her being upset about me about whatever it was. And I was like, I apologize. Like, I didn't even know it offended you. And I don't ever want you to feel that way. So I like appreciate that friendship forever.
Yeah, and it's beautiful to have those conversations.
Yeah.
Just with relationship, but with friendships. Any other stories?
I have my best friend from since we were like 11 years old. And it was funny because how we became friends, we were like randomly sitting next to each other. And she actually just turned and was like, "Oh, do you want some hot Cheetos?" And I'm like, "Sure." And then after that, that was literally how we started being friends. Yeah. And then
Love me a good belly bonding
now. So anytime, yeah, anytime I'm like going through something or she's going through something, I'm like, and we live far from each other currently, but before I'm like, here's money for you to go get yourself a bag of hot Cheetos, or like, and like we will send each other like these long notes, and then at the end, like, here's $5, go get you a bag of hot Cheetos and go sit down somewhere. So that's literally how we keep doing it. Yeah, it's so cute.
It's so cute. Oh my gosh. And well, that takes me to my next question, because as Latinas, and as women, we give so much to others. So with all of our experience, how does your friendship help you refill your own cup? That's important. Like as a
So I know for me, anytime I'm like exhausted or there's like too much going on, I'm like, what are we doing this weekend? Because I need to be around you guys. I have no energy for anything else. I just need to be with my friends. And so there's times where there's not necessarily like something specifically going on, but like you just feel drained and like exhausted from like your daily things that you're doing. And so just being with them, it's like, oh, we're laughing. We're just talking about random stuff. Oh, we're just making coffee together. Like it's just little things like that. That makes me just so happy. And just being like in the same vicinity as my friends, I'm like, oh my God, they're here. We're so excited. Like, what are we going to do? Anything that we do is fun every time.
That's so true. Like,
Yeah, that's so
I
cute.
have a friend that she just invited me to the Galentine's Day little get together she's doing at her house. And I'm like, wow, it's so important because we lose track of time and we're constantly just on the go. So when I got her text, I was like, I'm so in. She's doing like a dinner and dream board. So I'm so looking forward to it. But it's that reminder that sometimes, we have to like disconnect, and she's refilling my cup without me even knowing that I needed that time away.
Yeah, that's so good. Disconnecting from, being a mom, being a wife, and just hanging out with that core, group of girls, that always like as well refills my cup.
Yeah, I agree. I think like once a year, I go on a girls trip with my high school best friends, and it was like it slowly went into like every other year, and then like I think there was like during COVID we missed it, but it was like when we got back to do it, it just refills my cup because like I don't know about everybody else, but in your day-to-day jobs, like I work in like I'm a lawyer, right? And everything is stressful all the time, right? There's always something. It's like that in corporate America, in any kind of business as an entrepreneur, whatever. It's stressful, right? It's stressful when you're handling everybody else's problems. And I think like just getting to be with your friends like on a boat, or like not even that, just like in a pool, and you're just sitting there and you get to like listen to the songs that you listened to in the car, when you were 17 years old. There's something about just like listening to Nicki Minaj, like Lil Wayne. Me remind me, like, oh no, I'm back to being 16, and it just like like fills my soul back up.
Yeah, and I love that you share that because it brings back to like putting our phone down, right? Like all of us, we share something that's not to do with picking our phone. Like we're enjoying present time, and refilling our own cup doesn't mean like I have to be on social media. I need to make content. I need to run this. I need to do that. But all of us stand by that it's just really disconnecting and connecting with the people who matter. So that is so beautiful.
Let's shake the room a little bit, because I need to do better with my friendships. You're bad for me, Jenny. You're a bad friend. Yes, I've been a virtual wellness support for my friends, because shout outs to adult women that can leave their kids and be with girlfriends, because I really love that we evolve technology, because y'all, it's so hard. It's
Look, we're here, girl time.
yes, it's so hard to like have friendship like in real life. And I do appreciate that we have like the virtual space, because honey, the way a friendship just brings me back together, it's almost like, especially as an adult, it feels like our own parents. Like if you have a really good, healthy friend, and let's say you're in a stage where you're either entering marriage or motherhood or entrepreneurship, those great friends will sit here and ground you and build you up and make you feel unstoppable. And, unfortunately, some of us don't have our parents. So our friends become like just that glue and just just overflow coming in. But I need to do better because I hear y'all and I'm like, that's so nice.
Phone, for that matter, but virtual, like a FaceTime or like what we're doing now,
Yeah.
that makes a difference. Because sometimes we just get so overwhelmed with like technology that we don't put that aside. So we can actually do this that we're doing now. Just girl talk, talking about.
And I'm old school, like New York City before social media, like we're gonna party. So I'm like, if I go outside, these new people gonna be like, I need a fucking something for that. That's what
I love it.
Like
That's
for
so
me, I don't have like I have like one friend here, one friend there, but like we were saying before, like my friends are really my cousins. Like my best friend is one of my cousins. And like I don't live in the same state as them, so it's a little harder now. So I was literally telling my cousin, I'm like, let's do a girls trip. Cause the last time we went like 10 years ago and we went to Atlantic City and we had such a great time. I'm also the type of person that I'm like a party animal type thing, and I'll have a great time with whatever it is. But then, since I've moved so much, I feel like I've moved so much. I've moved from different states. Now in this state, like I found a group of friends, and now I'm like, okay, we going now. We're doing this. Just yesterday, we were talking about doing like a little party or whatever, a little like get together and stuff. And I was like, let's do it. Because we went out in the summertime, and I was like, damn, I was like 3 months postpartum. My belly was bellying, and I wasn't looking too cute, so maybe I gotta redo this, but it's okay.
do over, please.
So I was looking at a video like, espérate, no pongan eso en la red.
oh, that's
But no, but it's
fun.
nice. It's nice to do that. Like, I feel like the summertime, people want to do it a little more versus like frío, todo el mundo se esconde. Everybody's like a bear.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Everyone's hibernating. Yes. Okay, ladies. Y ahora for a fun little twist, share a Galentine's fail moment, maybe forgetting an amiga's birthday or a funny misunderstanding. I know we all have that. So let's hear it. I know many times. Well, one time I forgot one of my friend's birthday. So I know that was like a complete fail, and I felt horrible because we worked together at the time.
Mine is May 26th.
Oh, wow.
And it's just on YouTube, guys, okay? So todos nos vamos a tener.
Ya está ahí.
Yeah, that's horrible, isn't it?
I know, yeah, I felt horrible because at the time we worked together. So it was like a regular day for me. And at the end of the day, I realized, oh my God, today's her birthday. So I felt so horrible.
She was like, oh, we're not friends. You can't go to lunch with me no more.
I know, yeah, she probably was looking at me like, she's not going to say happy birthday to me?
Hasn't it happened to you when it's somebody's birthday and you text them for something else and then you're like, snap, it's their birthday?
Yes.
It has happened to me once and I'm never going to forget. I'm just like, whoa, I'm sorry. I don't know why I thought it was yesterday or like tomorrow. Like I had to come up with something because I feel horrible.
You can get flowers delivered same day, and I gotta tell you, I have forgotten so many of my girlfriend's birthdays, and that's so bad on me. It's honestly like when a lot of my friends went on that wave where they were like, we're not going to use Facebook anymore, and I'm like, cute, okay, that's great, but like,
who's gonna update me?
Right, I don't have eyes, so I'm like, I'll be texting, and somebody will be like, hey, did you remember it's the person's birthday? I'm like, oh my God, thank God DoorDash delivers flowers. Thank God Uber Eats delivers flowers. Thank God, like 1-800-Flowers, if you do it early enough, you can get it same day. Like, I'm like, take all my money, but it needs to absolutely come today. Like, I don't care how it gets sent, carrier pigeon, but make it happen so that, I remembered on the day.
Yeah.
That's like timers. Yeah, I used to set timers for midnight. So I would always like remember to text my friends at midnight. So then if I messed up any other time during the day, it's like, all right, well, I was the first person to always wish you happy birthday.
Good tip.
Yeah.
Take notes.
I'm
Take
not
notes,
gonna
ladies.
make myself again the bad friend. Okay. But I definitely was that person, Jeanette. So me and my doula really became really great friends. And I'm over here telling her like, oh my God, my breastfeeding journey. And we're talking about, I'm like, I think it's her birthday. I think it's her birthday. And then she poured onto me. Listen, a Pisces will pour and forget to pour back. And then I said, happy birthday, friend. She's like, oh, I didn't want to say anything. I'm like, oh, no.
That's the worst, right?
God. I give myself a pat in the back because I'm pretty good at birthdays. And I like remember people's birthdays. Even at work, they'd be like, when's my birthday? I'm like, oh, blah, blah, blah. They're like, how you remember that? And I'm like, well, your birthday's the same day as this person's birthday, and I can't forget that person's birthday. So here we are.
That's who I am. I like
That's you associate, yeah. Like one of my coworkers,
1 and 1.
girl. I'm like,
Because I don't know, I don't know how or when, but like my friends are like grouped by their signs. So I have like 6 Sagittarius. I have 7 Scorpios. I'm just like back to back. So that's easily for me to be like, oh, today's so and so's birthday, tomorrow so and so's birthday. And that's the only way I remember things. But I did have this one issue with like one of my friends because we didn't celebrate her birthday on her actual birthday ever. So I didn't actually know when her birthday was. So I would like be on my phone like, hold on.
girl, make sure receipt. November, December.
I'm like, bro, when did we celebrate your birthday? Like, I went down. I'm like, this is the only one that I have an issue with. And I think it's because it's the only person whose birthday we celebrated that month. So it's like, I don't have to like prep mentally for like all these other birthdays. I feel so bad. I was like, I need to really write this down.
Like Jeanette, I'm gonna remember your birthday because my mom is the 25th and you're the 26th. Yeah.
It's right before my birthday too. No, that's the Memorial Day weekend. Por eso es que a mucha gente no se lo olvida, but at the same time, they're into the Memorial Day weekend, so they forget.
They forget. Yeah.
They did this or that. I'm like, what?
I got you. I got 3 cousins with May 26th. We locked in.
Yeah, we like that.
The love for sure this year.
So funny. All right, ladies, let's turn up the heat a little. We're going to dive into love, life, and lessons learned.
So first off, if you could give one piece of advice to your younger self about relationship or self-love, what would it be?
Girl, speak out loud. Let the world know who you are. She gonna do something. We don't know what she's gonna do, but she's gonna do something.
I think I would say, honestly, marry a person that loves you more than you love them. A little bit more. Find a person that loves you a little bit more.
Mom says that.
And it's the truth. I am engaged, right? I went through a divorce. My fiance, it's totally like this time around, absolutely different. And I think the other thing I wish somebody had told me, I always thought that happy ending wasn't for me. I always thought that that wasn't something that was always attainable for me. I was like, that's like a movie that's not real. And I'm not saying that trials and tribulations won't occur in your relationship. They will. But you can have somebody who genuinely respects you and you genuinely have a good time with, and you're just laughing. I mean, literally, the perfect example is like me and my fiance will be driving in the car. We'll go to New York. We go to New York a lot. And we'll just make up remixes to songs together. And it is those moments where it's like, I'm like, damn, this is like a movie. And that can be real and that can be for you. So I would say, don't ever settle and literally always marry the man that loves you a little bit more than you.
That was beautiful.
Yeah.
So good. Yes.
Oh,
I love that.
Lady?
Yeah, I would say don't shrink yourself. I feel like growing up, I was always kind of like shy because of my voice, because I had a really heavy accent growing up. And I didn't realize till I got older that it was like my biggest strain. So I would just say, like, don't shrink yourself and you're already enough.
Yeah.
So good.
It's so powerful.
I love that.
Trust yourself. Trust yourself. Trust that voice you feel within. And I was going to get very specific, but ultimately is to trust yourself. Cute and simple, and it's so powerful.
That is. And so much we can touch on self-love and relationship, because I know we all been heartbroken at least once, or we felt that we weren't capable of doing something or worthy enough. So it's that reminder to our younger self that look at us now. And that is powerful.
Mine's definitely like,
Go for it.
oh yeah, my bad. But mine was definitely like, don't allow others to determine your value in a way, because I had this thing where like, and I now I'm healed. We're good now. But back then it was like this constant thing of like needing just like somebody else to be like, yeah, like go ahead and do that. Or like just giving you that approval. And that kept me a lot of not doing things that I wanted. So once I grew out of that, it was like, oh, I really don't need anybody to tell me yes or no. I could just get up and go.
That is so
Yeah.
yeah.
That's so good. Okay, ladies, now let's get a little real. What's one taboo topic about friendship or love that we don't talk about enough as Latinas?
I think it's outgrowing friendships. I feel like there was a time in my life where I always used to say, like, I'm outgrowing my starter pack. And it's not to say that I didn't love my friends, But as you grow, you evolve. And so you have to find your group that you align with. And sometimes the friends that you were going to the club with are not the friends that you are chilling with now, because maybe you want to level up, right? So I think like that's the biggest taboo topic. It's okay to evolve. It's okay to outgrow friends. It doesn't mean I don't love you. It's just we're in two different pages in our life.
That is so true. And that was going to be our point, that we lose ourselves in the process and we create this thing about once we're married, we have a boyfriend, a spouse, you know, we have to be the best we can be, that we lose ourselves in the process. So creating that emotional independence for women and Latinas is so hard. You know, it's something we have to rebuild and build and build over again. So I think that's a taboo topic we don't really talk about or preach as much, and we remain silent. And I think it's something we should embrace. Like, we should be comfortable with ourselves. We have to have more love and self-love in ourselves before we pour into others, especially in our spouse.
I would say don't be afraid to disagree with your friends. I think that's a really huge thing. I think so many people are too afraid to disagree. And I think there's so many incidences in my life where I wish my friends would have been like, no, I was cool with disagreeing with you. That was a bad decision. And I think the same thing for them. I think there is love in communicating with the people around you, disagreements in a way that isn't like painfully critical, right? I think you can be friends and say, hey, what you're doing right now, I don't think it's a good idea. Like, I don't mess with it. I think it's bad. Like, I'm not going to tell you what to do. You do you. But at the end of the day, if I would be doing a disservice to our friendship, if I sat back and watched this whole thing happen and there wasn't a moment where I said, hey, these are red flags for me, this is a huge concern, like, at least you'll know I loved you enough to tell you.
I love that.
That's very good.
And that actually takes me to the next question, Heather, that you brought it up. So do you ladies think, with what we heard and what we experienced, should we maintain like our vida amorosa, our love life, low-key, or should we share it with friends and always go to them for a second opinion? Be honest, right? Because we all done it. I've done it before. I don't do it anymore. I've learned my lesson for many reasons, but it's okay to still ask friends for advice, but it's who you ask as well. And I think that's what matters, because they might advise you with their point of view, and it's not necessarily the advice. And that's how I take it, that you should receive. What do you ladies think?
Yeah. Like for me, I agree to a certain extent, like share to a certain point. Also, it depends on the person. Also, you don't want like that person, that friend of yours, to now hate your spouse. Let's say it's something negative, right? Because if you decide to stay, girl, and you just told your friend that your man ain't shit in a sense, and you decided to stay, now it looks crazy. Like, it's now a crazy situation. But also, I think to Heather's point before, like actually telling your friends, like, I don't agree with you, and like giving like real advice too, because a lot of friends just let you do whatever you want and not really try to be real a girl's girl out there.
Yeah.
Y ten cuidado porque las mujeres están robándose los hombres.
So true.
I definitely agree with Jennifer. Like, there's certain things you shouldn't say. And I don't know about everyone, but I'm very territorial when it comes to my friends. So it's like, if you come and tell me that he's doing this and he's doing that and you're not happy about it, and I'm seeing how you're like going through it, my first thing is to tell you, you need to get up and leave. I'm not praying. I'm telling you to leave. I am not telling you to stay. I'll go pack your bags with you. We're leaving. But if you decide to stay and then
Continue,
you try to like make me feel as if I have to like him now because, oh, he's around you 24/7, and you're going to like, I'm not doing that. I'm still going to tell you he's done this. So there's things that I'm not ever going to see that person as what they were to you prior to you telling me what it was. So I think that's where it's like, you need to keep like your issues and your relationship problems, go to a therapist.
Yeah.
Don't come and tell me, because I'm going at their
Now, like, oh boy. Yeah, because now you don't like it, but now you like,
yeah.
yeah.
And you're going to go check out the man she's going to marry.
exactly. And so to be at the wedding line, like, oh yeah, I like it. No.
No, and you might be the maid of honor. You might be the maid of honor.
Uno hablando así diciendo en estos días esto y lo otro, y después, yeah, but I still don't like you. So
Yeah.
We'll talk in their response. And I think I asked them to do the same thing, right? Are you wanting an ear or are you wanting advice? Because those are different things. And like, I have learned that some people can't handle advice, and some people don't only want an ear, and that's fine, right? Like we're all malleable. Like I've been friends with my friends for such a long time. I'm down to do whatever works for you in our relationship and our friendship. But in that same notion, you need to tell me what you're looking for, because if you're telling me you're going to tell me that this man sucks, and then you're saying advice, and then I'm saying, yeah, he sucks. You're like, leave. This is stupid. And then you stay with him and you didn't just ask for an ear, then we're in different spots, right? Like if you're just saying, I just want an ear, I don't know, I need to bounce things off of you. I say, okay, that's fine. I'll listen. I'm still going to like retain that information. Don't get me wrong. And you're right. I'm going to say like, he ain't shit at the wedding. But like you asked me specifically what you wanted from me, and that's fine. And like at the end of the day, this isn't my life. I'm not the person saying I do, right? Like as somebody who's been married and been through a divorce, I would never wish divorce on anyone, even my worst enemy. And I always say like, listen, whatever works in someone's marriage, it's not my business. It's not my place. So you just tell me what you're looking for in that response from me, advice or just an ear, and I'll do my best to do those things. But for me personally, when I'm in relationships, I think I learned the hard way because I had only given good publicity about my first husband. Like I had only talked positive about him. So then when we broke up, I looked stupid, right? And everyone was like, you know, what could have happened? Like, he's such a great guy. And I'm like, no. There was so much stuff. I just didn't say it, right? I thought what I needed to be respectful, which meant be quiet, which are different things, right? Being respectful and being quiet aren't like synonymous. Like, I should have felt comfortable enough to go to my friends. I should have felt comfortable enough to go to my family to be like, yo, this man sucks. But I didn't because, again, I was young when I got married the first time and young through the marriage. And those are things you learn over time. So for me, it's like, now I've learned like, hey, if I see a red flag or something, one, I'm out. So like, I'm not really going to my friends for advice because I know like the standards that I have now are incredibly different because I went through that whole divorce. But that was long-winded. I would just say my big thing is like, tell me what you're looking for, advice or an ear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not to sound redundant, I'm with you, Jeanette. I had to learn the hard way. So I just separated everyone because vice versa. I wouldn't want to be venting to my partner about a friendship. And then they're looking at myself like this person's really hurting you. You're growing through this and then making it awkward or uncomfortable for everyone. So I keep everyone in their relationship, but also being like a girl's girl because depending on where the friend is. So it's a mixture of like what Heather said and Jennifer, right? So it's like, okay, what you need, how can I be there for you and provide you what you need so you don't have to go down the wrong path? But at the same time, what happens at my house, I'm going to keep it at my house. And what happens in your house and you let me into your house, we're going to keep it in that house.
Yeah.
I love that. It's so true. That's the concept. Yeah, that's how I take it too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm like a little bit of both. Like I do agree with Heather because I feel like you have to know your audience, right? So I'm not going to go to my friend that hasn't been through something similar and ask them for advice. I feel like I'm only going to ask them for advice if I feel like they walk similar paths. Otherwise, I am going to ask just for an ear. And I typically like to take a beat and just kind of process everything before I run to my friends because sometimes you get a lot of advice and then your opinion is being formed by your friend's opinion of what that is. So I like to just process it, maybe talk to God real quick and then take it to my friends.
Jesus, take the wheel.
Yeah.
Okay, ladies, time for a quick fire fun. You have to answer rápido y sin pensar mucho. So you got to answer quick and without thinking too much. Okay, so describe your dream Galentine's Day in 5 words.
Paris, Italy, Spain. Just traveling. That's the perfect Valentine's Day.
She's about traveling.
Mi sol, playa, un trago, un tro de vaina, and $100,000.
I
I would say the beach, St. Thomas, my friend, and candy.
I know this is going to sound really off the wall, but the perfect one would be like the experience, whether we're going to a rooftop luxury or whatever it is, it makes it out the group chat. There's no excuses. There's no limit to the funds. There's no limit to the location.
So if we start in Soho and, hey, we want to go to JFK and go to Miami real quick, we out to Miami and come right back. That sounds like perfect to me.
I love that.
I love it.
That's ideal.
Yeah. Traveling, shopping, eating well, because, I'm a foodie. And definitely all multiple ways of self-care. I love going to the spa.
I feel like self-care. I don't know why I'm seeing like a ski trip. I've always wanted to do like that cabin night field trip with my friends. I feel like definitely
Do it, girl.
You've done it before, Jennifer?
Not with my friends, but I just went on a ski trip, like with my brothers and his friends. And I was watching and I'm like, I love how y'all friending out here. I know y'all taking group pictures. You know, I love it.
Definitely need to do that. Those are really fun.
And yes, some liquor. Can't go wrong with the liquor.
Okay, now we have to pick one forever. Tacos or margaritas?
Tacos.
Tacos for me.
Or foodie. Sorry, I love food.
Lamar.
The tacos, this aging stuff ain't doing no margaritas.
Tacos. I don't even drink like that anymore.
So yeah, tacos for sure.
Yeah. It's going with the marg.
Okay, so what's one song that always reminds you of your amigas? To me, it's the old school songs. I don't have a specific one, but like the throwbacks.
Yeah, to me, it's like the Backstreet Boys.
Backstreet Boys.
Their choreography, Britney Spears. I mean, that's when I kind of grew up and they were starting as well. So it's going back to our roots, right? Like the throwback. That reminds me of my friends, but childhood overall.
I'm going to be so 2016. Que perra, mi amiga.
Yeah.
Let that song come on and I'm with my, even though we're not perras, pero acá no vamos a dar todos.
Yeah.
I'm So Made by Lil Wayne. I feel like that song came out in like the crux of my high school days. And I was like, me and my friends still listen to that and Super Bass by Nicki Minaj.
What year did you graduate high school? I had to know.
2008. That's right. Well, like those are like the crux of our songs, right? Like I'm listening to like Lil Wayne 100%. Like, I mean, I'm listening to I'm So Paid. Like we just went on a girls trip and I was just thinking about the playlist and it was Super Bass, Moment for Life, I'm So Paid. It was, my gosh, why can't I think of the T-Pain, Akon? I mean, I'm out here and I'm like,
I T-Pain kind of came out a little around that time. And everybody was like, this guy's music is amazing. And then when he showed up, everybody's like, ooh, hold on. Wait.
Thinking with somebody else. I'm like, no, I can dance. It's 2008 again. And then, my knee pops out and I'm like,
I feel like Jay-Z and Beyonce friends. They're just they have friends, and I just love that song.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm like, Allie, anything Beyonce, we are there.
Yeah.
We love her.
And for me, I'm like, I'm an R&B girl, so like, give me like Usher, give me like Jagged Edge. I feel old saying all this stuff because y'all talking about Lil Wayne and whatever. I'm like, give me Jagged Edge.
You know what's funny? My friends had to like teach me how to get into like R&B and like old school R&B because I was like, who are these people?
Girl,
My parents didn't listen to any of that, so I was like, I don't know.
I mean, H-E-R. We know how to spell Usher and his last name.
You taking the cherry.
Good. All right, baby. So we are in segment 3 of what we wanted to discuss with you girls. And now we're getting into the part of community. We hear that it takes a village, right? So what does that mean to you? Because I know each of us have something beautiful, which is creating a community of movement to empower and help women no matter where they are in life, right? And that's the message we all preach. So what does community means to you?
Overflow, baby. Overflow. We don't gatekeep. We don't keep it on the hush because we know what my blessing is. It's not your blessing, but I know that whatever I can do for you is going to overflow. And now we in an overflow state. Girls, everybody wins. And if that's not the case, then this ain't that community I built because, baby, we overflowed over here.
I would completely agree. I would go off that and I would just say collaboration over competition every day of my life. That's it. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I want to see everyone succeed as much as I want to succeed.
That's beautiful. We are, each of you are testament of that.
Yeah.
I mean, V, you have your growing up with Latina, and to have you here as well, it's inspiring because it's not about competition or about, oh, I make it first, so I want to get to more people than you. It's about this, what we have right now, which is empowering and helping each other and uplifting one another. So that is so beautiful.
Yeah. And I just want to piggyback off of that. I would just say showing up. I feel like that's like a real like test in a friendship or just in a community is how you show up. And I think so many people will say, yeah, you know, I support, but you're not showing up. You're not reposting. You're not clicking that like button. You're not leaving a comment. So like, are you really showing up? You know? So I think community stems from the show up.
Ali took it out of my mouth, I feel like, because I was going to say support. Like, you have to support others. Like, we're building a community. And I'm going to say this, and it's more to Cynthia, because like when she started her podcast, she like reached out to me. She's like, thank you so much. And I'm like, girl, if I'm making it, everybody else is coming up with me. You know why? Because it's like, we all other people do it for other people. Why can't we do it for us? Right? So I'm sitting here and I'm like, support. If you got to reshare, if you got to do whatever you have to do, jump on a podcast, do a collab video, whatever it is, you go and do it. And I think people fall in this social media world, people fall into you don't got 10,000 followers. And it's like, that doesn't matter. You got 2 followers, but if this is something you want to do, let's talk about it. Let's collab, like what Heather was saying.
Yeah, that's so good. Yeah. Yeah, that was, going to Jennifer. When I first reached out to her from my podcast, in my mind, I was like, she's not going to answer because of her big following. And when she did, I was like, I was like all giddy, like, oh my gosh, she replied, like it's actually her. And, like she said, I'm so grateful because her yes opened up so many other doors. Like this one, right? I got to meet Jenny. I got to meet so many people because of her, and it opened up so many doors. So yeah.
And we have to,
like, totally.
We have to continue to support each other.
100%.
Because it's like one of those things, like, we got to do it. I even, I'm personally, I do this. Like, if a small brand, especially Latina owned brand, wants to send me any products, I actually do a video with those products because I'm like, you know what? Like, it's one of those things, like, I'm showing up for us, like, no matter what. And this is what a village is we keep showing up for each other.
Oh, yeah, babe. Send me your address.
Send me a DM. I respond to all my DMs, even the weird ones.
Even the little one.
Yeah.
So good. Okay, ladies, we're going to dream a little. If we can create the perfect Latina Galentine's Day tradition, what would it look like?
Can I travel?
Everybody's about traveling today.
How you see the reels, Cuécaro de Flores and all that. I'm like, that sounds good, but what's at the finish line? Is there food? Is there a box of chocolate? Is there like,
is there cheese, man?
For the real, no. Yeah, I need something else. Food, service, order whatever you want. By all means.
Yeah, like for me, it's being like that. Like you said, Galentine, right? Being with my friends, basically my cousins. Being in the room with my cousins and just in pajamas and just talking for hours and eating and drinking and everything in between.
I'm gonna say the same way. Anything with my friends. No, go babe. No, Jenny, go ahead.
I would like the perfect tradition would be like to learn something together. Because even in this room, we're all so different that there's something you can teach me, whether it's a plate, whether it's how you do your makeup, whether it's how you secure 6 figures. I would love to see that on Galentine's Day. That would be like, chef's.
I love that.
I love that.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree on part. So mine's similar to Jennifer's. I just like to be at home, like with my friends. We could literally just be sitting around, and as long as she's right there and I'm like cuddling with them, I'm good. I think that's
share stories.
Yeah.
Sometimes you could have known somebody for years and not really know a certain story about their life.
100%. I couldn't.
Right? Because you're not with that person every day in a sense.
Yeah. And I don't know like why I love this part, but I used to really love like getting ready with my friends, like just me doing my makeup and maybe the other one got my hair. Like I love that time. I just feel like there's like, I don't know, it's like it feels very nostalgic to me and I'm not sure why, but I just love getting ready with my girlfriends.
Yeah, and I love you mentioned that because sometimes, like to me, once you get married, you have your spouse, you feel like it has to be the Valentine's Day tradition of being with your spouse. Not taking that away, absolutely. But like for example, this year my husband is traveling because of work, and instead of me being the one of like, oh, but he's traveling for Valentine's Day, I'm like, wait a minute, girl time.
Yeah.
My girl's gonna go for dinner and do something. Actually grateful because when do you get to do that? It's like when you grew up, right? When you were kids, you used to do one thing, and now growing up, we're like, oh, we're adults. We don't get to do that anymore. So yeah, it's taking that opportunity. You guys keep saying friendship that we take for granted, especially on days like that, que es el amor, but it's not just for your spouse. It's for everything, yourself, your friends. So that's a beautiful reminder.
Yes, I love it. Yeah. And, I think we're going to wrap it up. We're so grateful that you guys all joined and said yes. This was our first time ever hosting this. Hopefully next time it will be live, right? We pick a location and we all join. That's one of our goals. Yeah, but before we leave, ladies, here's our Spanglish toast to celebrate friendship, comunidad, and self-love. So pick up those mugs or cups, whatever you guys had. Por las amigas que son familia, la comodidad que nos levanta y el amor propio que nos hace brillar. Que nunca nos falte el chisme, la risa, el éxito en todo lo que hacemos. Salud porque juntos somos imparables.
Amen.
Cheers. Thank you so much for celebrating Galentine's Day Latina style. Don't forget to you ladies and to our listeners to subscribe and of course follow us for more conversation like these.
Gracias, chicas. Ha sido un placer. Thank you.
Yes, hasta la próxima, chicas.
Bye.